Hello again. I'm going to make a second video today. Today's March 15th, 2017. I'm just excited. I didn't get any news today and I'm kind of wound up. Man, I got all kinds of stuff. There was no news today, but I got some stuff to tie in a lot more. I'm going to get to what I wanted to today, and then I got more about the Earth theory. Not flat Earth, not globe Earth. I got something else for you. But I found that out about the world, and I found something else about some Nazis. You might think, oh, well, what does that matter? Well, hey, I guarantee if you subscribe to me, and you watch it, you can be blown away. Because like I said, like I keep saying, everything, the past to now, it's all connected, man. But alright, check this out. We're going to do a little bit about the Templars, okay? This is pretty much what this is going to be about. Kind of like the origin of them and how they tie into Freemasons and Illuminati, and how it's rather altered altered everything, and how it kind of ties into well, not kind of, how it does tie into religion. Alright, so and Templars, as you know, I'm pretty sure some of you already played Assassin's Creed or something. Let's face it, man, Assassin's Creed is pretty badass. Some of that stuff is true. Did you know that? They actually did some research as well. But they try to put that little quotation in there saying, hey, this is depiction of fiction and all that, but nah. Alright. Well, the Templars, they were created by the French and all that. They were about the 10th century, like 10th century. Now, they were warrior monks. Monks. No money, no nothing. They were monks of God. Well, they served God, according to the French. Now, they left France and they wanted to go conquer Jerusalem, the holy city, and all that. So, they left, and at about, they conquered, of course. History's going to tell you, they went there and they took over the holy city. 1120. Okay, this is 1120, the century of 1120. The Templars were granted stay at the Al-Aqsa Mosque. This Al-Aqsa Mosque is the Temple Mount above the ruins of the Temple of Solomon. I'm going to say it again. Al-Aqsa Mosque. It's like a mount right above and right below it, was the ruins of King Solomon. As some of you know who do follow the Bible and all that, Solomon was, I'm going to say, he was the most knowledgeable. Jesus knew everything. Solomon was the one before Jesus, and he knew it all. He knew everything. Granted, he was not Enoch that walked with God, and I probably will do something about Enoch. You won't believe what this has right here. This, Enoch, Jubilee, and Jasher, man, it opens your eyes. It really does. It opens your eyes and makes more clear to what the Bible has to say. And I'm telling you, if you're an atheist, if you're satanic, whatever, all that other religion, I'm telling you what, you follow me, subscribe to me, and I'm gonna show you that, hey, I'm gonna show you how the pyramids were built on everything. The Great Pyramids, the pyramids in South Africa or South America, the pyramids in China, the hieroglyphs that were found in Australia. Hieroglyphs, Egypt sailed down Australia. Did you know that? And I'll even tell you why there's a pyramid built before the Great Pyramids in Antarctica. Remember me telling you about movies on the last one? Alien vs. Predator. Do you remember that movie? How there were pyramids down in there? They drilled down. Anyways, we'll get to that. Alright, but anyways, the Templars were granted stay. This is like a holy spot. They were, even though they conquered it, there were still Muslims and such there. But they were granted stay above Solomon. Now, they left, don't forget, they left as monks. No money, no anything like that. Now, Solomon. You gotta know a little bit about Solomon. Where I got that at? Alright, Solomon was, well, he was very knowledgeable. My mother told me, I mean, she told me a while ago, before she passed, she told me, like, you know, Solomon was able to cast out demons, was able to summon demons, and he was able to actually control them. Now, if you're able to control this stuff, summon them, have them do your bidding, wouldn't you want that power? Like I said earlier in my other videos, knowledge is that power. Alright, well, check this out. Solomon himself turned away from God. Yeah. Turned away from God and adopted a symbol from Remphan. Yeah, Remphan. He adopted a symbol from Remphan. Okay? Now, Remphan, he's what is he? He's like an ancient Egyptian star god. Alright, I mean, you're going to probably see that in hieroglyphs and everything. And it's also a symbol from worshippers of Moloch. You know, god of Ammon people, of the Ammon people, who neighbored Israel in, I do believe, the 1900s BC. Now the Moloch, they did a lot of child sacrifice and a lot of pagan worship. Now I'm going to say that because that is crucial. The reason why it's crucial is we have Congress, we have high upper echelon rich people and all that have the pagans, and we have them actually the children. That's where all the children and all that, this is pretty much where it originated from. All the child slavery, all the children's sex and all that other stuff. But anyways, Solomon adopted a symbol from Remphan. I'm sorry for speaking, it's a little bit late and all that, but from Remphan and from the Moloch people who worshipped all that stuff. Now, I'm going to blow your mind on this, okay? Because he turned away from God, that is the reason why Israel, you know, lost its luster. It was pretty much Israel's destruction. Moloch tempted Solomon, okay? It was a false god, and he tempted Solomon. That's the downfall of Israel, and it became under Babylonian captivity. Exile of Jews, pretty much. Now, I'm not going to show you this symbol yet. Actually, you know what? I think I will. I think I will show you this symbol, because you're going to be baffled. A lot of you are going to be like, oh, no. I'll tell you what. You don't believe me? I'll even send you to a damn site. How about that? I'm going to get my little pen and paper right here. I'm going to draw this little symbol for you. And you're going to be like, what? Right here. Yeah, let me see if I can get that correctly. Can you see that? You might be able to see that. This right here is the symbol of Solomon. Okay? Can you see that? I don't know if you can. Here, let me do it like that. You see that symbol right there? That's the symbol of Solomon. Now you're probably saying, oh, no. That's the symbol of David. Well, see, like father, like son. So the story goes, Solomon was the son of David, if you didn't know that. And David, you know, he was God loved David. I mean, but believe it or not, the Star of David is actually not the Star of David. It is not the Star of the Jews. Now look, God is associated with the number 7. Sevens. 7 sevens. Okay? You got, even in Revelation, it will even tell you that in Revelation. 7 sevens. You got, here, let me get my little thing out here. I did write that down. I do know that. You got, where'd you go? No, it's here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 5, 7. No, not there, not there. Alright, here we go. Yeah. You got 7 churches, 7 candlesticks, 7 stars, 7 seals, 7 spirits, 7 trumpets, 7 plagues. That's 7. 7 is the holy number. 7 is the number of Jubilee, of renewal. Now, what's the number of Satan? What's the number of demonic? What is that? Do you know? Well, you know what? Seeing how Solomon turned away from God, let's see what his symbol was. You got, yeah, let's get this back up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. 6, 6, 6, 6. 6 is that number. That's what almost everybody associates with the devil. Route 66, you know, all that. Why would, I mean, that's what you got to think. Like I said, critical thinking. Why would the Star of David, why would the Jews want 6 be in their logo? Well, here's the thing. This is where it all ties in. Actually, you know what? I'll get to that. Downfall of Israel. It became under Babylonian captivity. Now, you can Google this if you want to. Why don't you Google up Gilgamesh? Okay? Can you do that? Gilgamesh. I'll kind of spell it for you. Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh. Now, when you find that Gilgamesh, check that picture out. Notice that statue has like a little kitty cat in his arm. That ain't no kitty cat. That's a freaking lion, man. A lion. Do you know how big a damn lion is? That is big. Okay? So, let me tell you something. I'm an artist, okay? I didn't do art. I mean, I did a little bit of art history, but at the time, in high school and all that, I really didn't like it. I didn't see how it applied. But you know what? Guess what? It applies. Prior to the 1600s, like I said in my last video, subscribe and I'm going to send you a lot more knowledge. Well, not knowledge, wisdom, my bad. Prior to the 1600s, the 1600s was the Age of Enlightenment. But, as I refer to it, Age of Deception. 1600s on, deception. 1600s back, you're going to have pretty much wisdom on that. But 1600s back, there really was not a lot. I mean, people were illiterate. I mean, we still have people that are not literate here in America. Literate all over the world. What is the one way to tell a story without writing it down? We draw. We draw what we see. That's exactly what artists did. 1950s is pretty much when we started doing sci-fi stuff. When we started drawing stuff out of the imagination. Like, oh, UFOs, oh, galaxies, and stuff like that. Prior to that, you drew, you made what you seen. Go to a museum. I love museums. I mean, they're beautiful. You go in there, and I want you, if you critique me, go in there and go to a museum. Show me something that's dated prior to 1600 that shows fantasy. That's all I'm asking. You draw what you seen. That's why you got the Egyptians drawing those hieroglyphs. You think those big old hawks and those dog figures, you think those are like masks or something? Interpretations? No. No. Those are real. Those were actual things. You think these big old statues of these tall guys getting ready to beat a three-headed dog? You think those were created out of thin air, out of somebody's imagination? No. Those were real. I'll get to that too in another video. Subscribe to me so you can see it. I'd like to see the support that way. Hey, I got something that intrigues you. Artist, I am one. We draw stuff what we see. Okay? That's just the facts of 1600 back. That's pretty much how it is. So Gilgamesh is pretty damn tall, and he's holding a lion on it, wrapped around his, like a little damn kitty cat, like a little cat. Well, yeah. What's it gonna do? We think Egyptians built the pyramids off sticks rolling 20-ton blocks. It'd be a little bit easier for a giant person to pick up the block and set it. Well, that's a whole nother story, but we'll get to that too. Gilgamesh. Alright? This giant, this fella was of, what was he? He's a demigod. I mean, that's pretty much what he is. Demigod. Had great strength. Has a lion. Who else had great strength and took on lions? Greek, maybe? Zeus. No, not Zeus. No, who? Oh man, I'm so close. Hercules. No way. Well then, Thor, god of thunder, and Zeus are kind of similar. So you mean to tell me these cultures might be similar? So then you mean to tell me that when the disciples went out and tried to tell the Bible, that they put it into a context to where cultures would understand it better? You got to take stuff out of context to make them, to find the story more interesting, to find the story more believable. And I'm not trying to take this out of context whatsoever. I'm giving you everything that we see with our eyes, everything that's presented in front of us. I'm not trying to take it out of context at all. I'm trying to put it into context for you. Alright, so you got Gilgamesh. Where was Gilgamesh at? Let's see here. Gilgamesh. Demigod. Was part of... I know I had it down. He came out of the city of Ninlil. City of Nippur. 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 He was a Sumerian, Akkadian, Assyrian and Babylonian dominated Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia. Didn't I talk about that in one of my other videos? I did. Wait a minute. Nippur. Nippur. That's by Iraq. So if we're not in Iraq for oil and we're not over there for any kind of profit, Do you think we might be over there to get some kind of knowledge that maybe stems from the Bible? Knowledge of fallen angels, knowledge of what they had, what they were able to do. I mean, Enoch even tells, here, I'll give you a little tidbit of what the fallen angels actually were able to do, their powers. Their names are beautiful, by the way. I mean, there's 12, I do believe. 12 of these chieftains that were on top of Mount Hermon. Mount Hermon is, UN has a base on top of Mount Hermon. Why? Same area that Gilgamesh was at. Same area that Solomon, yeah. Anyways, these fallen angels, they knew how to make swords, knives, shields, breastplates, metals of the earth, an art of working them, bracelets, ornaments, anatomy, beautifying of eyelids, and all kinds of costly stones. Really? And all coloring tentacles. Another fallen angel taught enchantment and cutting of roots. Another angel resolving of the enchantments. One of them taught astrology. Really? One of them taught constellations, knowledge of the clouds, signs of the earth, signs of the sun, and of course the moon. Now, if you think all these angels were in one spot, no. You got Mayans that are pretty good with sun, moon, and stars. You got, China and that area right there is pretty good with roots and herbs. Well, dang. I mean, wait a minute. You mean to tell... Wait, right there. It's saying, and they taught them charms and enchantments, cutting of roots, and acquainted with herbs. So you mean to tell me each continent has a different plus to it? Each continent might have a certain angel established to it that has knowledge of certain things? Quite interesting. We'll get into that. Trust me, we will. You got to open your mind, critical thinking. I mean, you think that we stumbled upon this, that we oh wow, accidentally I found it. No, this stuff was given to us. We had to find this stuff. We're going to war to get this stuff. I told you the wars are established by the puppeteers, Rothschild especially, and I'm going to get into that. Now, the Moloch, false god, tempted Solomon. Solomon made Star of David, but it wasn't that star. I mean, that was the symbol of Solomon. Basically, it was bad. So, what we got here? We got that was the Solomon area. So we're done with that. I'm explaining that to you. Now, this is all about the Templars, right? All right. So let's scroll back up. The Templars had to, go down and granted access to above Solomon's ruins. So when they get above there, and mind you, they were there, they conquered the place and they could have done left, but no, they stayed there for about another 7 years. Now you think Indiana Jones is fiction? You think that is sci-fi? What if it's not? What if there are actually Laura Crofts? I mean, if you were a monk studying God, you knew Solomon had power to summon demons and control them and all that. You're going to use that. I mean, you went to Jerusalem, you fought, you lost brothers and everything. I mean, you hear that France is going bankrupt. Why not dig it up and find out? I know I would. Well, back then anyways, I probably would. I mean, who doesn't like finding a treasure, Alright, so now we got the 1200s, okay? Templars decided to go back. They had all this knowledge and all their trade routes. They established trade. They established a money system. They established quite a lot. Templars were eradicated by France because they went back, and even Wikipedia will even tell you this, that they went back to France and, man, we're going to take you down. Wikipedia likes to tell you, hey, you know, France was bankrupt, the king wanted their money, seeing that they had money, and wanted to eradicate them to get their money. Well, another story is that they came back, and instead of being God-fearing, they were God-hating. They spit on God. They desecrated God. And what else did they do? Oh, yeah. Pagan worship and children. Well, damn, that's kind of like the Moloch. It kind of sounds like they did find something down there, and if they treasure hunted in Solomon's temple, in his ruins. Okay. Some say they came, yeah. Devil worship and child pedophilia. Kind of makes sense. That's why governments are associated with them, and even the United Nations. Did you know that? United Nations even. And who did I say the United Nations they were funded by? Go look at my other videos. You'll see. Templars, now let's say here. If you know that you're going into an ambush, and you got some buddies, and you see your leader get axed, hey man, I'm going here, you coming with me? Nah, dude, I ain't gonna go with you. I'm gonna go that way. You can go that way. We're gonna split so that way they ain't gonna find us. I mean, come on now. That's like thinking that way. Some of them go up to England. Some of them go to Switzerland. Some of them go back to France. Some of them go to Rome. Now, how do I know this? Templars. Type in Templars, Google. Look at the image. Look at their little vest they got on. Like their little logo. It's got like a little cross, right? Now look at Switzerland. Switzerland got the Alps around it. A good defense area. Switzerland was not even touched in World War II. You got Germany over here and you got France over there, and they're going to leave little Switzerland alone? Why is that? I tied it into my other videos, and I'm going to go through it again here. They have the same logos. Some of them went to Switzerland. Those are the ones that had the banking knowledge. That's why drug dealers and all that, they can put money over there and, hey, it's cool, we're expedited or whatever. The governments can't touch it because it's straight up. Some of them went to England. How do I know this? Alright. You ever hear of Robert the Bruce? I don't know if you have. I mean, you might have heard of Robert the Bruce. Well, Robert the Bruce was... Oh, where did I find my little thing? There we go. Alright, Robert the Bruce. Well, you like movies? Go watch Braveheart. I'm sure you'll know who Robert the Bruce is. When William Wallace died, Robert the Bruce, he had all the Scottish, behind him. Because William Wallace was going to follow him as well. But he didn't have that many people because William Wallace, he did some bloody battles and he lost a lot of people. But Bruce, he needed some people. Warrior monks. Warriors. So the ones that banked went to Switzerland. The ones that knew how to fight went up to England. Mercenaries. Hey, one of the first mercenaries. Get paid. We'll fight for you. We know how to do our trade. This is what we've been doing for the past couple of years. We fought the Muslims and all that. That might be why Muslims have always hated Christians. It's biblical how long they've hated us. Robert Bruce gets them. Once they win, that's about in the 1300s. They win. They take out England, what's his name? Edward the First. that his name, Edward? I think it's Edward. Yeah, it's Edward. Pretty sure. They took out Edward the First and the Second. Now, when you take somebody out, you're going to colonize. I mean, that's what we always do. That's what's happening now. You go someplace to colonize. That's what armies do. Once you conquer somebody, you colonize. I mean, it's in every movie. It's in all reality. The Scottish won their independence. They colonized. But the Templars, they wanted something else in return. Yeah, they got the money, but hey, greed. These places were split up over there in England. Some of them were given up to the Templars. The Templars, though, I mean, England, pretty much, the word got around. I mean, there was still word getting around. France and England have always been battling each other. Now, if France knew that the Templars went up to England, oh man, they waxed out the king and all the other Templars. It's going to be a war. The Templars had to change their name. What did they change it to? Freemason. Oh, no way. No. Really? Some of the first sites there. Yes, Freemason. Some of them went down to Greece, or Italy, I should say. And they have Roman Catholics. Pretty much in the 1190s is pretty much when they went down there. That's why the Roman Catholic has a Freemason base. Well, not Freemason, but that's pretty much. I can't remember. Was it a Freemason? Well, anyways, I do know some of the Templars went down to Rome. I mean, it just is. Look it up. Get some more knowledge. I mean, I'm giving you what I know in hopes that you might actually open your eyes too. Now, back to Gilgamesh. 1720 BC, Assyrians invaded Israel and defeated it. So now, Solomon had downfall of Israel, Babylonian control, because of Gilgamesh, who was Assyrian. That might be why we're over there fighting now. Wars that we are not protecting our freedom. How is fighting over there going to help us? We're not getting oil. We're not getting anything cheaper. The resources we're not bringing back here. Come on, man. Now, I'm going to tell you what. 17... Do I want to tell you that? No. In 1200, in about the 1200s, the Mongols were pretty much rampant. They were going through everything, and they went down there pretty much all over. Okay, and Jewish were scattered because they lost Israel, so they were all scattered. Mongols went there and they converted them. Okay, once they conquered them, they do all kinds of stuff and converted them to what? Ashkenazi Jews. Ashkenazi Jews reject Jesus and accept Satan. I'm sorry to say. I mean, you got some Jews that are straight, and some of them that are, you got some of the Jews go with the Torah, which worships God. Some of them go with the Talmud, that worships Satan. That's why it kind of has to be secret. Secret. Keep that in mind. That's in the 1200s, mind you. Now, let's go back to Ashkenazi. Say it again. Ashkenazi. Nazi. Nazi. Keep that in the thought. Alright. That's about the 1200s. Stuff happened right around then. Now, how is this biblical? Well, let's start with this. Go to your Bible, if you got one. Go to Revelation 2, verse 9. I want you to read that. That is referring to the Ashkenazi Jews. Okay? Why do I say that? Because good old Rothschild, yes, he comes up again. I mean, this guy is tied to everything. The Rothschild family is tied to almost everything. He's an Ashkenazi Jew. Rothschild, as I said in the other videos, him and Rockefeller orchestrated League of Nations. They paid for both sides. That didn't work. They needed more money or whatever. Created World War II. After they got rid of the Tsar of Russia. What was the main power in World War II? Nazi. Hence your name, Nazi. And they always attacked the Jews because they were trying to eradicate the good Jews. They were trying to get rid of the Jews that worshiped the Torah, not the Talmud. They were the one. They wanted to keep the ones that had the Talmud, not the Torah. All right. So seeing how we got that out of the way, let's backtrack. Seeing how we got a little bit ahead of ourselves, I just want to say Revelation 2 and tell you how that was tied in. Alright, now, I told you how they pretty much went up to England and, Switzerland and all that. Now, in the 1300s, they went up to England and Scotland and everything. Yeah, in about 1760 was a transition, okay? Did you know Rothschild was not originally Rothschild? They were Bayer, B-A-U-E-R, before they were Rothschild. Do you know what their symbol was? Imagine a lion right in the middle. They put a lion right above the door when the first child was born that was going to be named Rothschild. I mean, you got blood of the firstborn, you got all that. And in the Bible it says, we're going to put the blood here, blood there, sacrifice blood, put the blood above. They're putting this symbol, this paganistic symbol above that. This paganistic symbol that spits on God. Okay? Now, when I do that, I mean, you got to. I mean, there you are, the Ashkenazi Jews. I mean, by this time, the 1760s, that's what they are. This symbol is pretty much the sign of witchcraft, sorcery, occultism, cult, a secret cult. Hey, well, that might be something right there. Well, anyways, 1743, Mayer Bauer was born in Bavaria. So that was the Bauer. That was the father of the Rothschild. He was born 17 years later. The first Rothschild was born. 1776. Rothschild was born, and over time he did create the Illuminati. 1776, it was complete. 1776. Why is that so familiar? Well, at any rate, let's go back. I'm going to give you a little bit of history about the Freemasons. 1620s. Freemasons were pretty much associated with London. Now, I told you Templars had to change their name up there in Scotland because they colonized all of England. Because they, that's the time of discovery and all that, and France really had a beef with England. they changed their name to the Freemasons, a secret cult. They had a spot based in London, 1717. Britain was all unified with Masons. All the four Masons in Britain were unified now. 1730 was the first spot the Freemasons were in America colony. Okay. So, what the crap does that have to do with anything? Because the Freemasons are the Illuminati. Alright? Adam Weishaupt. Adam, W-E-I-S-H-A-U-P-T. I don't know how to really spell it. I'll say it. Weishaupt. I'll just say that. Adam Weishaupt was an associate of Rothschild. That was right around 1770, right around that area, 17th century. He infiltrated the Freemasons, so the Illuminati, who pretty much went with the Talmud because they were part of the Ashkenazi Jews. So now the Illuminati that do the Talmud, worshiping Satan, they would now be all over Europe. And then, 1730s, they go to the colonies of America. Okay. That's cool. Well, did you know that every U.S. president since FDR was a 33rd degree Freemason except for Reagan and except for JFK? And did you know what JFK, you know what happened to him? Oh yeah, he got assassinated. Why? Because he made a speech going against secret societies. And a short day later, he gets popped. Keep that in mind. But did you know who he was popped by? Who orchestrated it? Big Daddy Bush. Yeah, not little Bush that was, 2001 and all that. Big Daddy Bush. Keep that in mind. Anyways, my name's Chris Charisma. I'm the Christ Bearer. I'm probably going to make another video about this stuff because I find this very interesting. And it is, history repeats itself. History does have a lot to do with everything. So, we'll probably get back into the Ashkenazi Jews. But let me tell you something. How about we talk about a hollow earth and a bottomless pit? Subscribe to me and let's talk about it.